I had just a quick, I'm very tired. I had a quick thought bouncing around in my head, and I wanted to get it out there while it was still articulately fresh in my head. So here we go. So a lot of people you'll find who are struggling to find faith in God, some of them have very tough questions, unserious questions, and questions that they perhaps ask but don't realize how simple and ridiculous and reduced they sound. And one thing that people love to complain about is, well, the whole contradiction thing that people think has to do with God. If God is such a loving God and one of such forgiveness, and he wants us so much to be in his presence and in his arms and in his light, why is it that he will give to us but then take away? It's just cruel. There's no other way to explain what God is. It's explained away. God is a sadistic puppet master that is pulling away the football before Charlie Brown gets to kick it. It's so reduced, and it's such a disservice to a person's capacity to think about these things critically. And really, I think it's important to look at the relationship we have with God similar to a loving parent's relationship with their child. And a parent will give to their child all that it needs. A loving parent will give to its child all that it needs so that it can live and be happy and sustain joy and so on and so forth. Clothes, shelter, right. And it will also give to the child because it's been good and it's earned this reward, because there's different types of giving. You give because of needs. Those are things that are like unconditional. Food, water, shelter, clothing. And then there's nice little things that are given. Nice little, okay, you did good, here's this toy. You've done this, here's a coloring book with some crayons, so on and so forth. But at the same time, a parent will take that thing away, that enjoyment, that toy, that prize that was earned because of disobedience. And then the child's made to feel, it's like, well, okay, after enough times that happens, the child's like, okay, when I do this thing that isn't good, obviously doing bad things gets me my shit taken away. Whatever, it's like eventually, hopefully that's what is conditioned into the child. But at the same time, a parent gives to eventually take away. It is planned that this thing is given, and it is known by the parents that had given it that it will be taken away at some point. And that's exactly how God deals with us in the circumstances that we are found in, as well as the challenges that are unique to us. And so an example of that would be like taking a parent teaching the child how to ride a bike. When they first begin, they have 2 training wheels on the back tire on either side. And there's obviously, this helps, 4 tires are grounded. There's really no way the child can fall off the bike. Doesn't really need to be guided by the parent, but this aid gives the child confidence to eventually be able to have those training wheels taken away by the parent, recognizing that the child has grown in their confidence, grown in their coordination, grown in their skill, grown in their understanding all the mechanics and the braking and the steering of how a bike is supposed to work. And so once those training wheels are taken away, the child is even when that is taken, the child is given this I guess, what could you say? It's something more from within that's given to the child. It's great encouragement, confidence to excel to the next difficulty, the next phase of learning how to ride a bike, which is with just the 2 tires and nothing else. And the child is amazed. They're like, look at mommy, look at daddy, I'm doing it. I'm riding my bike. They're balancing, they're staying coordinated, they're not falling off. They don't stay on for long. It's like they gotta, it takes time, but that's how it is. It's not, the walk with Christ is not an immediate, you come to him, you are completely just, you're cleansed in light, everything about you is great, you do no wrong, you sin no more. It's just not like that. It is a lifetime of refining the person that you are to be fit to earn a place in his kingdom. And God is similar with us in how a parent is with its child. Because if he is the Lord our Father, then we are his children. We have to expect that the relationship works to that degree, but on a cosmic scale. And that's where people get hung up, because, a parent's relationship with a child is tangible. There's physical affection. The child can be held, coddled, swaddled and rocked in their arms, and it's like you give them hugs, and it's like we can't have any of that tangibility with God. But it's not necessary for these bodies fit for fire on earth, because within us is the same power that rose Christ from the grave, and that is the Holy Spirit, and that is a feeling unlike any other. And so when we come across something that is that's challenging, that's facing us, that is just so unbelievably, we can't do it. We look at it and it's like, I am not going to be able to climb this mountain. It's too high. I'm going to stay here at the base and live my life with this mountain blocking my view of everything that is awaiting me on its other side. And God does that for a purpose. He will give challenges to your life, obstacles placed before you, so that you may use your free will to apply it to the circumstances that you have found yourself in, because God knows that you have the capacity to choose right when it comes to overcoming this hurdle and that hurdle and so on. But you need to know it for yourself too. And then so just as with the training wheels being taken away from the bike because the child now knows how to ride a two-wheeled bike properly, God will take away that dark cloud, that stumbling block that's before you, because depending on whether or not you had spent the right amount of time with it, approached it properly with a calm mind, a still heart, and assessed it for what it was, and really understood, what does God want from this? Of me? Not why did he do this? Why? What? Because you're not looking for the why. You know why God, because there are no mistakes. God did it because there's no mistakes. There's a reason for it. And so what then is, therefore, what is it for that God did this? That is the thing that we have to understand, and we can't just pass it up as he takes everything from us because he's cruel and unusual and he's just sick and he gets his cheap thrills, and it's like, this guy, God, the Lord our Father, created the heaven and the earth and the universe. Do you think he finds entertainment in watching us suffer and watching us stumble? No. But he loves us so much that he relies on us to find within us that strength that he gave us to figure out these things that have been put before us on this earth. We are the ones that have to intervene in our life's challenges. Not God. Don't expect God to do it for you. He will deliver you the messages. He'll deliver you the signs. But don't expect him to directly intervene with his hand coming out as if my hand, like we're coming out of the clouds, but like 20,000 times the size, and just picking you up and putting you in a different spot so that you're safer. It's not how it works. It all comes down to like whether or not you believe in God. Take accountability for your lives and the challenges that come with it, because they are yours. And blaming God for them not working out in your favor is the same thing as blaming anything else but you spending time with yourself trying to figure out what it is you need to do to get to that next step in life. And with God, it is so much easier. So God is not just a deceitful giver and a cruel taker. He expects us to learn much from the seemingly simple things that he tells us. So something to consider if you're one who's struggling with your faith and come across something like that. I just randomly thought of it and I wanted to, whatever. So God bless you and good night. Thank you for watching.